Hi everybody, it's Don. I hope you're doing great. I am just curious. I have a question for everybody because something's been going through my mind of an incident that happened on the holidays here in Canada, and I'm wondering what you guys feel about it. So, the incident happened in Quebec where they have instituted the lockdown saying you're not allowed to have anybody outside your own household in your personal residence. So your daughter can't come over, your son can't come over, your mother can't come over if they don't live with you already. And apparently 6 people got together on New Year's Eve. A neighbor called and they showed up with the police. At first there were 2 police officers, and we're not really sure of the story. There's a video out of the one person being dragged out of the house by the police. One gentleman's holding back another woman from getting involved, and we don't know what happened before that. Apparently the gentleman struck, allegedly, the police officers, and if that's the case, you deserve to be drug out by I don't care the situation. You don't hit anybody. They didn't hit you, you don't hit them. That's my motto. But the whole situation of the government being allowed to tell you who you can have in your own house, it kind of, that point now is bothering me. It's getting to the point where that bothers me. You can recommend restrictions. You can ban big get-togethers, no big parties and things like that. But for, say, 3 couples to get together on New Year's Eve to have dinner and a glass of wine, I don't know if that is like if I'm going out to a restaurant and there's 40 of us and 100 of us, or I'm holding a big get-together and a bash party in a college. That's a lot different than 2 couples getting together and having dinner together on a holiday. That's a lot different than my daughter and son coming over for Christmas dinner. 4 people in a house. Do you think that's the point now that we have to push back to the governments and say, that's enough? You've taken away enough liberties out of our Constitution and our country, that the point, you cannot tell us who we can have on our own property at any given time. It's bad enough you close businesses. It's bad enough you're telling people they can't work. It's bad enough to telling people you can't travel. All that stuff, that is different. But to tell you who you can have in your own house and your own property, I have an issue with. I'm to the point now where, I wear my mask. I social distance everywhere I go. I have very few people ever over to my house. I have very little interaction with people right now. And I'm a very social person. I like to interact. I have a very small social bubble. But I don't know what I would do if I have my son and daughter in my house to celebrate something, if the police showed up on my door because a neighbor called them and said, hey, look, they're getting together, you're not allowed to get together, and then the police showed up and threatened to fine us or even issue a warrant for your arrest. And like I said, this is besides the issue that happened in Quebec. Like I said, if you assaulted the police officer, you deserve what you get. But if, I think I would be pretty irate and pretty upset if somebody knocked on my door and said, you can't have your daughter over at your house. I mean, we shouldn't be at that point. We should not be at a point where the government is making the police also, they're making the police the villains. The police are just doing what they're told. They're just doing their job. However, in this particular case, police, if I got a call and said that there's they're having a get-together at a family residence, and I showed up and I see 2 cars in the front yard. I'm keeping on driving. Unless it's loud and boisterous and causing problems to the neighbors and everything, I'm keeping on driving. If I see there's 6 people, I'm keeping on driving. You know, it's not right. And to make it legal to do that, I seem to remember some countries in our history that started doing things like that in the name of the good. This is for the good. You know what I mean? It's the good of the country, yet they used another word. It's good for this, it's good for that. This is what you need to do, and squeal on your neighbors and report your neighbors, and because it's for your own good. And it became disastrous. And I'm afraid that's where we're getting to in some places here in Canada. And I'm wondering if that's how you're getting to some places in the United States as well. Because I hear from people who are in the States who are completely off lockdown, and I hear people in the States that are completely under lockdown. And also, by the way, the same Quebec ministers that came up with that law that you're not allowed to have anybody in your house are the same ministers that were caught traveling during Christmas and New Year's when they're not supposed to travel. They went on their own vacations when everyone else is not allowed to leave their house. So that's where I draw the line. I just wanted to know what you guys think. Is that crazy? Have we gone too far, or am I looking at this wrong? That we have to do absolutely everything possible to curb this virus no matter what. And if that's the case, make a police order that everyone is not allowed to leave their house and have food delivered to everybody's house for 60 days. And that includes hospitals and everything. Because haphazard measures here and there aren't going to do anything. Not stopping international flights, but telling you can't have your son and daughter over for dinner, it doesn't make any sense, and it, quite frankly, is unconstitutional. And really, you know, you can ask and you can recommend and you can say no, you can set a limit, but you can't just say nobody. You cannot dictate who people have in their house, in their private residences for dinner. I don't understand how we've come this far. And shame, absolute shame of what's happened in Quebec, in Canada. All right. That's it for now. Let me know you guys in the comments. I really want to know, because you tell me I'm wrong, because I think we're starting to go too far. In this case, I think we've gone too far. I hope you liked this video. I hope you're going to comment down below. Maybe hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the notifications so you're told when the videos come up, because it's not every day. Until next time, well...